Yo, what's up, guys? Back at the end of the season, and I'm Zach.
I'm Kyle. I guess we kind of could explain why we've been actually uploading some videos. Personally, for me, I've been dealing with a few things. Like, actually, I was sick terribly in November. Luckily, it wasn't COVID. It was I was dealing with a lot of different sick symptoms. That was similar to COVID. So there was just a lot of precautionary measures. Um, just it wasn't necessarily feeling well this winter season. It was cold. I was dealing with a lot of allergies. I couldn't even catch up with a few games because I know there was a few things that was going on, and it was also difficult as well because when I think me and Zach personally were watching the games, we knew the season was already over. They weren't had any playoff hopes. I think the only thing we were looking forward to is what are their moves for the off season, and what are the adjustments when it comes to the coaching and the players for next year. And so, but we won four in a row towards the end of the season. Looks like the Chargers have some fight in them. I hope we can definitely continue that for next season with some good healthy players, some good new players to pick up.
Yeah. So maybe we can start off. Anthony Lynn is fired. Are you surprised, or are you? How do you feel about it?
I think no one was surprised. I mean, no one on social media. I mean, there was every time I would go on social media, there would be an outline of saying who would replace the Chargers head, who's the new head coach. So
Yeah, all
people
of
already
ESPN. Yeah,
predicted at all of ESPN, social media. Every time I looked up, like who's the new coach for the Los Angeles Chargers. I was about to say San Diego, but I know that me and you grew up with them, but it's Los Angeles
right.
Chargers. So, I mean, there's some prospects for sure. He was just released this morning as we're doing a video. Today is January 4th, so he was just released this morning. I woke up this morning hearing that news of him being fired. They're moving on from him.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'll be honest. A couple weeks ago, well, actually, many weeks ago, I wasn't sure if the Chargers, if Tom Telesco had it in him to let go of him, but there was just a lot of things that even commentators during games were like, well, this pretty much sums up the season for the Chargers and their time management. Just so many issues. Like
it's so brutal.
Yeah,
I mean, there was just a lot of misplays. To be honest, despite the record, you gotta, as a Charger fan, you should also realize too there was just way too many close games. Games they should have won. Particularly, I mean, I remember being up 17 against the Bucks. I mean, they ended up showing that they were a better team for sure. But the
right.
Saints, the Saints game should have been a win
Hmm.
towards the very end. That should have been a kick in. That should have been a win for the Chargers.
The
Um,
Broncos, the first
the
time around.
Broncos and the Raiders back to back weeks. It was towards the end of the game that showed who would win was towards the end of the game, whether or not that was a touchdown or not. Unfortunately, during the first early games, the the Raiders managed to get a touchdown at the end that counted, and against no, the Broncos got a touchdown at the very end that counted, and for the against the Raiders, the touchdown at the very end of the game didn't count, so it didn't go that Chargers way. So it was just a very slump for the Chargers. I mean, personally for me, it was difficult to watch. It was difficult to kind of. We still watched all the games. I watched all the games, and it was just difficult to kind of just be like, man, I just wish we had some better clock management. We had some good, sense of urgency towards the end of the game. Who could lead these Chargers and get them motivated in? We have a talent. We have a talented team, as we say before. We have a future upcoming star with Justin Herbert. So I see a bright future. I just hope for in the future we got healthy players coming into play, and we got some coaches that can use this Charger team for its talent and actually,
Yeah,
make some plays to get the win towards the very end because they deserved a lot of the games that were being played, and unfortunately, it just didn't work out for them.
yeah. Hopefully we'll get better luck injury wise. It's been an issue forever. You know, uh, I mean, there's a lot of things you can knock on Lynn, but we were missing a lot of players on offense and
Yeah,
defense. But
both both sides. I mean, we were missing one of our best defensive players, Derwin James. Luckily, we had Kenneth
yeah,
Murray out there. I would love to see how they both work together. Kenneth Murray, Derwin James out there.
Bosa.
See them both. Bosa hopefully staying healthy. Um, yeah, I hope to definitely see um, strength in the defense, and then for the offensive side, our offensive line was just depleted. It was just difficult, even at the beginning of the season, to kind of see them depleted. I mean, Herbert could have gotten a lot more better passes and a lot better throws if he had a line protection. I mean, one of the
Yeah.
biggest games that we had a bust on, I think, was I forgot who it was, but they were just rushing us and they got to Herbert in like seconds. I believe was it the Patriots game. It
Might
was
have
just it was
probably.
I think it was the Patriots game that was a very terrible dominant game. Actually, for me, I couldn't even watch that. It
Yeah, I had to
was
turn it off. It was too
it
much.
was 0-2. I forgot what the score was, but it was absolutely terrible. And I could tell by the offensive line, it was just like Herbert was getting destroyed on the offensive line front. And
Yeah, thank God he's athletic because it makes you think. Like, look at Phillip. This is what he's been dealing with for the Chargers, just getting smacked as soon as he hikes the ball. And then
yeah,
Herbert, he's able to extend plays. He's like
yeah,
what 6'6" and able to cover a lot of ground, athletic and run.
yeah.
So, but he's played great despite having one of the worst offensive lines.
No,
Um,
Justin Herbert. You got to agree though. He played well as a rookie, and
right.
he's shown some a lot of promise, a lot of skills on the offensive line, both as a runner, and I think he should definitely incorporate that more. I'm pretty sure if we get the right coaches to definitely implement the whole running scheme for Herbert, it would be great, and as well as using those throws because those were some great throws he had.
Yeah, even under
Throughout the
pressure.
whole season.